Fans live from the Kalahari Resort and Water Park in Round Rock, Texas. Welcome to Grand Finals! The following is a best-of-5 set to determine the Low Tide City 2022 Splatoon 2 Grand Champions. Introducing the teams. First, the team that qualified out of loser's side. Give it up one time for the starting lineup for Bush. One of the best NZAPs in the business, Split-Tech. Their name's a greeting, but they'll give you a beating. It's Hiya! Making a splash in more ways than one, it's Boopy! And finally, the roller that'll roll you over. Give it up for Lost! Fans, one more time for Bush! It was an impressive run to get this far, but now they have to go up against the multiple-time North American champions, mainstays in the scene, looking to defend their crown. Folks, give it up for FTWin! The coldest backliner in the business, this is Ice! High in carbs and even higher in kills, it's Biscuit! You know this man's got you covered. The engine running the whole operation. Come on now, we all know it's Beagle! And lastly, the best bucket in North America, El Diablo Kyo! Fans, one more time for FTWin! Folks, the teams are ready. You already know it's been a big weekend for Splatoon and really the entire Nintendo esports community. My man over here is ready, I already know. But fans, we got to hear you. Are you ready? See, now I know that's loud, but that ain't Texas loud. Are you ready? Let's throw it back over to the casters. Rissa, Shiny Hunter, Zach, and Siren. Take it away.
Thank you so much for handing it back over to the announcer, and we welcome you back to Low Tide City here in beautiful Round Rock, Texas at the Kalahari Water Park and Resort. My name is Shiny Hunter Zach, and of course, as mentioned, I'm joined by Rissa and Siren. And y'all, we are about to head into the fantastic Grand Finals from 24 teams, now down just to 2.
And before we go ahead and head into these teams, I actually think I smell something. I think I smell, like Siren talked about, some pizza. Would you look at that?
Oh, beautiful.
I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I've seen a stuffed crust pizza, and this smells delicious.
So this is courtesy of Papa John's. This is absolutely fantastic looking pizza. I personally have to give a shout out to Papa John's. They were one of the few places that actually took my college's currency my freshman year, and I literally would eat there more so than I would eat at their cafeteria. So Papa John's, thank you so much for getting me through my freshman year. Oh my God. And the pizza actually does look super, super fresh and fluffy.
Yeah, no, this cheese looks super stretchy. I love this so much. Every time I go to a LAN, since we don't have this in Canada, we always get the Papa John's. So I'm so happy to be representing them today.
So with Papa John's here, we actually wanted to bring up that it's not just the stuffed crust here. It's Papa John's stuffed crust. Try one topping epic stuffed crust for only $13.
Yeah, that's a really good deal. And on top of that, you can get another 25% discount if you use the code online SM25. That's going to get you 25% off your whole order.
We want to thank Papa John's so much for their support, especially over the weekend. They've done a fantastic job. And the audience, I can tell, they've been seeing these epic stuffed crust pizzas, the videos and the pictures of them. I can tell it's made some of them quite hungry.
I know whenever I'm watching at home, since Papa John's has been part of these Smash tournaments, anytime I see the ads, I immediately see the stuffed crust, and I'm just like, okay, I need to order some of that. That looks so good.
Yeah, and it's such a good price as well.
Well, again, thank you to Papa John's. We really appreciate it. Let's turn our thoughts back over to Grand Finals here. We have FTWin, or maybe not FTWin, as they're technically split between two competitive teams for the win, who helps give them their moniker, and Starburst. And they're going to be taking on sort of an unlikely competitor here in Blush.
So Blush, like we just saw, was that underdog that we just saw on stage, and we are just like so hyped and excited that they've made it all the way to Grand Finals. Splat, Haya, Boopy, and Lost, all individual really good players, but not necessarily able to get to this high of a level all the way to Grands at a LAN.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you can actually see the predictions on screen right now. That is going to be a 2% prediction rate for Blush right now. So a lot of people are very confident that FTWin is going to be taking this home today. But as a rooter for the underdog, I am here to support Blush and all its members. So I'm really looking forward to this set. I'm really hoping that Blush can pull through here.
Well, make sure whether you're here in person or in the chat, make sure you shout your support out for whichever team you're rooting for. We are going to be featuring counter-picking once again here in Grand Finals, but we need to start somewhere, and in this case, that somewhere is going to be Tower Control on Manta Maria.
Okay, so we hear the Ready Up lobby. These teams are going into Game 1 right away, and I'm really excited because FTWin has actually been playing so many different weapons, so let's see what they pick as we go into this first game.
So we are seeing, as you would expect from Lost, we are seeing that carbon roller. That's going to be great for the aggression here. Both comps having that super, super aggressive comp, and it's just going to be, I think, just a race for the middle at this point to see who can win these early fights.
Man, what a tale of two teams here in terms of their playstyles. We've talked ad nauseum about the aggressive playstyle of Blush, but FTWin coming in to counter that with basically two anchor rolls. We have a custom Jet Squelcher and a very popular Nautilus 79 to combine with Kyo's Tri-Slosher Nouveau. However, Boopy is getting pressured by the Stingray of that custom Jet, and that's really going to put them in a pickle as they go 3 down early.
Ice with that Stingray, that is not something you want to be on the receiving end of, able to get that pick right away. And now this is a great opening for FTWin as they do have 3 specials. Looks like they do go ahead and pair that armor and inkjet together to get to the second checkpoint.
Yeah, it's looking very dominating right now for FTWin. That is going to be very difficult for Blush to come back into, but it's now going to be a 2v2. It's just going to be one member left of FTWin, and that's going to be a full wipe onto this. This is going to be a comeback for Lost, moving up in the mid, already getting in the position to fight FTWin and get on this top left here. This is huge for Blush if they're able to hold this down.
The crowd loves an underdog, and you can hear them roaring their approval here as Blush, who's really had to fight their way through bracket, is starting to make an impact here. Both of these teams have picked a similar strategy of trying to get an inkjet off with armor in tow, and now FTWin is going to swing the momentum back in their favor as we have yet another 3-down situation, which will cause Bagel to be the tower rider here and try to farm up that armor for the next push.
You can see FTWin actually has, it's again, those 2 specials ready, that inkjet and that armor, but right as they were able to use them, 2 members of FTWin do go down. Ice and Kyo gonna go down. This is, Blush has been doing such a good job at stopping the tower.
Yeah, this is intense. It looks like they haven't been able to get past that 50 mark so far, which is very surprising. They're doing a very good job at defending that 1 point, and you hear the crowd getting very excited every time Lost is on that screen, and it's for a reason. I've been following her journey for a long time, and this is well-deserved.
Lost Carbon Roller is a nightmare for this double anchor or double backline team, but we see Ice here again with that Stingray ready, and he's going to back up to use it. The Splattershot Junior's already gone down, so they're not going to have their armor or that Suction Bomb rush as we see actually multiple go down, and it's just going to be Lost remaining. Can they survive here by sharking on top of the wall? I think they'll bide their time for now and let this armor run out.
Oh my gosh, Lost just sharking on this wall, trying to let, I believe that's a Biscuit there, just kind of guess if they are still there, but it looks like Biscuit was able to call out to Kyo, and the two of them paired up were able to get that pick on Lost. So in doing that, Kyo actually goes down. So right now the tower is just kind of stalled in mid. Both teams are just trying to poke at each other, get specials ready, see who can get in a position to get on tower first.
Yeah, so this does not look very good for Blush right now. That is going to be 3 members down, but nobody's running the tower for FTWin. There doesn't seem to be a lot of urgency in pushing this checkpoint or this objective very far. They seem to be confident enough in 52, but I don't think they should be. When Lost sits on that wall, it's going to be very difficult for them to get past it.
FTWin going to have the armor at the ready here, and Blush smartly opting not to contest them, but it might be too late for them as they go 2 down. They're going to be sitting at the checkpoint, and I want to point out something too. They haven't gotten to use the Inkjet at all on the side of Blush. That Custom Blaster has failed to use it. However, they are going to get the pick on the ice, but they're not going to be able to take down the Inkjet, who seems to find 2. And now, although they're going to have armor, it's just going to be the Splattershot Jr. remaining.
Biscuit being the one who's riding the tower right now as Bagel and Kyo are pushing up into Blush's base. This is not what you want to see if you are on the opposing team. Looks like they were able to, in doing that, in that distraction, able to just completely KO the tower. FTWin taking game 1.
Yeah, very unfortunate position for Blush there, as they did have a member flanking that tower. It looks like they had gotten a couple picks there, but with Kyo standing on that mast, was just able to hop down on that tower and get that all the way to the KO. So it does get very dangerous when you're into those very last numbers and you get past those last checkpoints there, as just any little thing, if you're not paying attention, if you're not sitting right on top of that tower, that game can be over just like that. And that, unfortunately, that's what we saw there. But hopefully with this, Blush will sort of know what we're going into here. They have the opportunity to counterpick, and it looks like they're going actually right into tower control once again on Sturgeon Shipyard.
Wow. Biscuit, I want to call out, making a statement on that Nautilus 79 with a 16 KA. And again, I want to bring up the importance of missing out on those inkjets. Having an inkjet with an armor provides such an advantage, or at least a nuisance in air, that you have to focus on or risk facing a team wipe. And I sensed only a bit of hesitancy there from Blush, and even that causes them to lose some of that momentum. But I will say they showed some hard promise at the beginning of that game, giving special mention to Lost and that amazing carbon roller.
I know, we got to see a lot of really awesome plays from Lost, and I loved the aggression and just the sharking that we got to see. That carbon roller was doing so well, and I love to see it. And I love too that they have their counter pick at the ready, just ready to go. They know that they performed well on it already. I'm sure that is a good comfort pick for them.
Absolutely here. So we look like we're going into the game once again. So I guess we can wait here on these comps. We're seeing the Soda Slosher coming out from Kyo, and once again the Bamboo coming out of Ice. This is going to be a very, once again, aggressive comp from FTWin. So we'll just have to see if Blush is going to be able to defend and put up with it this time.
Blush knowing exactly what they want and how to play it. On the opposite side of things, we're going to see the Soda Slosher and multiple instances of last-ditch effort. So the closer they get to the end of the game, the more effective, in essence, they will be. Splatek trying to get out there by the super jump, but that's not going to work as they are taken down. And Kyo helping to finish off the kill that's going to result in a 3-down situation yet again. And for the first time this game, FTWin will hop on that tower.
Yeah, FTWin this time being the team that takes the initial great starting push here, and with a Biscuit over there on the Inkjet in Blush's spawn. I mean, they are just having this aggression, just pushing up and able to get past this checkpoint right away.
Yeah, no, I do think this sort of staying back a little bit from Blush has been intentional. They are preparing to deal with FTWin at this checkpoint here, and it looks like it's working out in their favor as it's only Bagel left onto that tower, and it's going to end up being a bit of a, it's not even a trade. So Bagel is able to get that clutch pick onto the member of Blush, and that is going to be a continual of the push. This is going to be a little bit harder for FTWin here as members of Blush are respawning and getting back in, but they're just going to have to try and reapproach this here on this second checkpoint.
That was a 7 out of 8 member down situation. Bagel being the last surviving player, and as that's your utility player, you give yourself a chance to farm up that armor for the remainder of your next push. So with this next push coming in, it's already going to be 3 down as they really force an attack on the tower, and unfortunately they had to. It's too late. FTWin makes their first push, their best push, and the only needed push, bringing themselves 1 game away from winning it all.
Wow, I love that. FTWin was able to just instantly take that whole push and not get off the tower. They were able to stall it out, continue getting jumps, and I loved seeing that from them because they were so confident and knew exactly what to do to keep that aggression up and just completely KO the tower.
Yeah, so I think from here on out, Blush is going to have to find some way to get an instant stop on FTWin when they're getting those sort of snowball pushes, because that's what we've been seeing a lot of. We've almost seen some pushback from Blush so far, just on those checkpoints here and there, but I think it's just taking that extra step further from here on out, which is going to get them these game wins.
Tower control, sort of a double-edged sword. You know exactly where the objective is going to be at any given time, and basically on almost a set moving path. However, it forces you to fight right on top of that tower, which, if you're a short-range team, means that your opponent, if they have anything mid to long range, can really counter you by staying just out of reach and taking an overlook area and picking you off. So with another counter pick at the disposal here of Blush, they're likely going to want to go to something that they're feeling very confident in, and I think we see that they're going to quite a short-range effective map in Blackbelly Skate Park.
That is actually interesting, considering that we did see Blush right before this set go to that quad shooter comp, so I'm wondering if maybe that will come out. Of course, I could see the Carbon and Blaster doing amazing here too, so it's really interesting to think about what options they have and what we've seen from them in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of people on Blush that I believe to be sort of mostly loyal to their class of weapon. So we are actually seeing this counter pick coming out once again. That's going to be Rainmaker on Blackbelly Skate Park, which I almost find a little bit alarming. I'm not going to lie. That is not a game that I would put my money on. If I was, at risk of losing the whole thing, I would not be like, oh yeah, Blackbelly Skate Park. Let's pull that one out. I can rely on that.
Rainmaker on Blackbelly especially can be over in an instant. If you thought Game 2 was quick, we have the potential to see a speed run here. But Blush, as this is their back against the wall, fighting to make sure it doesn't happen here in Game 3.
Okay, I am so excited. Kyo tweeted that he was going to bring out that Grim Range Blaster, and I get to see it finally in Grand Finals. I'm so excited. And then we also see Bagel playing that Junior, a Tetra coming out from Biscuit, and actually Ice switching to the Splatter Scope.
Yeah, and we're seeing a very traditional comp coming out of Blush once again. We're seeing that tri-shooter and the Carbon, so kind of all what you would expect. So they must have some sort of certain game plan in mind if that's the case. So ultimately here, I'm just curious as to what these teams are setting up to do here. Biscuit taking the pick on Ahaya on the right there, so this might be a very early lead for FTWin.
It seems like they've already got a path carved for them, but the members of Blush are starting to respawn, and we see the Grim's special come online. Biscuit, however, going to come down as Boopy has to retreat away from the missiles. Unfortunately lost. Not so lucky is Kyo going to be able to push forward and force a 3-down situation yet again, trying to find the final pick on the Splattershot Junior, but the Junior just barely lives long enough to take down that Rainmaker.
Oh my gosh, Kyo just getting that final pick there on Lost, and their teammates following up, getting more picks onto the members of Blush. I love that Boopy is here at the Rainmaker, gonna actually try and use that Suction Bomb Rush to instant pop the Rainmaker. In doing so, is able to get a pick on Kyo, paired with Lost there, gets that final pick on that last member of FTWin. Ooh, take a deep breath, Blush. This is what you needed to be able to push into mid, paint into mid, and let the Rainmaker reset.
Can I just say, Kyo's direct on a loss was insane, because that's entirely luck. You are leaving that up to luck when you are jumping with the Grim Range Blaster from that far away, and hitting that was just insane to me. So the fact that Blush was able to get out of that situation where Kyo was just popping off with the luck, this is crazy. And it looks like we almost might be getting a pushback from Blush here. It is only going to be one member left at the Splat Tech. However, getting picked out here is not going to be good here. However, that is going to stall out FTWin, as that Rainmaker is now in a very painful and annoying spot.
A valiant effort, and at least time-wise we have plenty to go, but that might not be the case as we have a KO imminent potentially. And I also want to mention too, you would not think that Dark Tetra Dualies would be the one you want to go for. Splashdown has not been a particularly popular special, and instead you might want to go for the opposite variant, which has that auto bomb launcher. However, they're going to try and make another push here in the form of FTWin. Their Splattershot Junior is going to go down as well, and Ice is going to fall, so that's probably going to stop this early push in its tracks. However, we see a couple of clutch kills coming out from Lost, and I say that her Carbon Roller is something truly to be feared.
Lost here pushing up right away, and Blush instantly picks up the Rainmaker. They are getting points down right now, all the way down to 34. Unfortunately, getting those big points, but now they do have a team wipe on Blush, so they're going to have to completely regroup as they come back from spawn, and FTWin is in control of the Rainmaker.
I think I finally understand the reason why Blush picked this map mode, and I think it's just because the members of Blush have mastered the maneuvering and the movement on this map. It can be so difficult because this terrain is unlike any other map in Splatoon, but as you can see, Lost is moving around these corners here, getting on these ridges, getting almost the pick on a Biscuit here, and Boopy has just been absolutely popping off as well and hopping around these ledges. It's just been crazy. So I do think they stand a very good chance of taking this, but they do need to take out Bagel now or soon in order to get some momentum moving in their favor.
As you mentioned, Bagel going to be the designated Rainmaker carrier here. We also see Biscuit on the far side. It looks like they're going to be flanking around on Haya, and they are going to secure that kill. Bagel opting, however, to go into mid. Boopy having that suction bomb rush at the ready, and there's only 2 members left alive for FTWin, but they're going to have the splash down at the ready. They're going to be able to use it, not really get much efficacy from it, and that looks like the push is going to be stopped there.
2 members down right now of FTWin, and T-Tech is going to be the one picking up the Rainmaker for Blush. I love that they instantly push up. We're seeing Boopy here just pushing up right away, and Lost as well in FTWin's hills. There's 2 members, 1 member down on each team right now as T-Tech is trying to get in a position to be able to push the Rainmaker.
And we're seeing this situation happen once again where it's just Splatek left alone dealing with that Stingray, but this could actually be in their favor. When you burn out that Stingray, they need some time to get that back. They still have a minute here. They can take this back now. Ice has to build a whole new Stingray, and it looks like he's already working at that right now.
Yeah, that was a great call out. I'm not sure Ice really needed that Stingray, and that might come back to haunt them. However, they have Kyo, who despite going down, has a 13 KA so far. We're going to be spectating back here on Lost again, who's coming back up on an Autobomb launcher, and they're going to go full down. They're not going to get the chance to build it up. 30 seconds do remain, but they're going to have to work hard to build up entirely new specials.
30 seconds, about 20 seconds now remain of this match. FTWin actually goes ahead and picks up the Rainmaker. Bagel there, being the Rainmaker carrier, is going to try and just stall this out as much as they can, but with Splat T-Tech right here, and Lost actually getting that pick onto Bagel is going to be a huge factor in overtime right now for Blush to be able to get the lead.
We do see Ice has that Stingray at the ready. We're going to see Biscuit here fighting for that Rainmaker. That could bite them in the butt. Biscuit goes down. Splatek's going to be coming the Rainmaker's feet, but it has to get into that fight with Kyo. That is so unfortunate here. However, that is going to be a very strong tournament win for FTWin.
They saved arguably the best of their games in grand finals for last, but Blush ultimately not able to match up against FTWin on their counterpicked map of Blackbelly Skate Park. And FTWin going to be taking a 3-0 sweep in grand finals after an incredibly impressive performance, specifically with Kyo on that Grim Range Blaster.
I told Kyo, I was like, okay, I saw you tweet that you were going to play Grim Range Blaster. I better see it. So I'm so happy that in Grand Finals we got to see that Grim Range Blaster come out. But, I mean, definitely good job to Blush getting all the way into Grand Finals. This is huge for them, and huge for them as individual players being able to get this far in a tournament this big.
Yeah, no, it was almost a bit of a Cinderella story, as you would commonly see. You know, it's all these unknown players. I don't even think they were matching seed at all at this tournament, and I think we as TOs we kind of had this list, and we're like, okay, whoever's closest to seed, you kind of win. But I don't think anyone won. No one expected this to be the result this weekend.
Yeah, this was not a LAN without its upsets. We had a team like Crown 9, who was second in their pool, make it all the way to 4th out of 24 and put on an incredibly impressive performance. And then to follow that, Blush knocking off 1, 2, 3, 4 in that amazing losers final set. Again, some of the most hype I've heard this Splatoon crowd all weekend. So really, we got to see a ton of amazing action, but the members here of FTWin just have so much skill and talent and just plain experience under their belt.
Yeah, they continue to have experience and, I mean, skill. They don't really let anything phase them. I mean, they're just amazing. Whether it's online or in person, they continue to just shell out these results.
Yeah, and I think you see a team like FTWin staying in this game for so long because they just sort of have so much fun with it, and they don't take it too seriously, so it's not very stressful for them in the end. And that's why you're always seeing them coming out to these events, and a very familiar face, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I particularly wanted to grab y'all's 2 thoughts on this, not only being from a caster perspective, but also a little bit from a player perspective, maybe not at this event, and of course from a staff perspective. How do you feel about how this event went down and the action that we saw this weekend, and also just the location itself?
Okay, so I actually really liked this location. I loved how close it was, generally to Austin. And overall, I mean, this has been a great event for us. It's gone really smoothly. I mean, today the matches went really fast, really smoothly for us, and I have enjoyed it overall. How do you feel, Siren?
I mean, it's my first time in Texas. I really like the weather. I tend to get really cold easily, so I'm very happy here. This venue is really, really great. This Kalahari is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I've been enjoying myself this entire weekend here, and I'm so happy I came.
Truly has been gorgeous. A pretty nice, sort of open and aerated venue, which is always nice for a large LAN like this. And of course, this whole thing has been brought to you by the IPL Splatoon Twitch page, which has done a lot of great work recently in the community. They don't just help with LANs as well. There are other tournaments, especially for lower level teams, that they help to bring on in order to get some of these teams into the competitive community and also to help them level up their skill.
Yeah, IPL, no matter what level it is, they make sure that they are able to, be able to cater to different levels. And I just love that the Low Inc. actually has a huge community. There's so much support there. And I have gotten the chance to commentate those tournaments a few times. And it's just so welcoming and amazing there. And I love the players there, too, getting to know their storylines. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm also very happy that IPL, moving on to a new team of people, I wouldn't trade it for anything, having IPL be the people, kind of running what's going on behind here, right in front of us. Everyone behind this desk is sort of involved with IPL in some, shape or form, and they've been amazing this weekend.
Well, of course, we have to give a huge shout out to our production crew, the staff, all the commentators that were featured, as well as the volunteers, people who showed up early, helped donate things like their switch dock, their LAN adapter, their power cable. But this is also not really the end of IPL's Splatoon 2 journey, especially for LANs, is it?
It's not. So IPL is actually going to be helping run Riptide. So those that are going to be going to Riptide, look forward to that. I know that we all loved Riptide last year. It was so much fun. We all had a blast, and a lot of people are already signing up for it. So look forward to IPL being at Riptide this year.
Oh, geez, the energy in this venue just caught me off guard a little bit. Things are still going on, and it's been loud, a lot of excitement this weekend, and I think a lot of people are really just happy to be returning to LANs at this point. It's been a while since Riptide. It doesn't feel like it, but it has been a while, and I'm really excited to see, all these other events this year, thankfully brought to us by Red Bull and Papa John's. So I'm very, grateful for these experiences and the fact that, Papa John's is coming in and supporting the scene and allowing these events to happen and, coming to this.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly from Twitter, I believe they've extended early registration to midnight tonight local time. So that gives folks, if they want to register for Riptide, an additional opportunity to do so at a discounted rate. But circling back to Low Tide City, we've talked a bit about, the teams that have made it sort of the furthest, made it to the top 4, for example. Were there any other moments, especially from things like day one, that really struck you or things that you saw that you'd like to point out?
I'll have to think about that a little bit. Nothing, because I was so busy TOing that I didn't really have anything that really, I usually at LANs, I'm able to, as a player, stop and watch all the sets, see these teams that I know are really good teams, have my friends on them, and get to see these moments up close in person. Siren, does anything stand out to you from yesterday?
Not just yesterday, but I guess this whole weekend I find I constantly catch myself going, oh, who are you again? Like, what's your name? And that's a good thing. That's an amazing thing because we have all these new people trying out LANs for the first time. I'm almost at every single event, so just seeing all these new faces and people and, out of the new people, just placing super high. That's amazing.
We love seeing some of the traditions that go on at LANs. We have poster signing and everything like that. But I believe that's going to do it for us here for Splatoon 2 at Low Tide City. Thank you all so much. We may be going over for an announcement from Stu. I'm not entirely sure. But regardless, thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Any final words from you two?
All I got to say is thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys at home for watching, and for everyone who is here, for everyone attending, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate your support. This has been IPL Splatoon's coverage of Splatoon 2 at Low Tide City here in Round Rock, Texas. We'll see y'all next time.